rush. I don't want to mess up. First off, I'd like to thank you for letting me speak today. My name is Shri, and I have been a transit driver for 3.5 years. My mother and grandmother have worked here for 10 years. To say the least, I have been immersed in the transit community for quite some time. I have seen transit's progression of how it was and how it is present day. Today, I have come before you to speak about safety. Safety, as always, and rightly so, should be one of transit's main concerns. Being a transit driver, I am held to a higher standard. As a professional driver, I have seen flaws in the main areas: our equipment, schedules, and until recently, our health benefits. The equipment we use today to transport people from point A to point B is not always in top condition. As the saying goes, you are only as strong as your weakest link. The weakest link can most commonly be the buses. I'm speaking about the 1400 to 1800 series buses that are over 20 years old. These buses have major safety issues in the mirrors, steering, and wheelchair lift. The mirrors on these buses are tiny and oftentimes hard to properly adjust. The mirrors are the driver's eyes. Smaller mirrors mean less visibility and more blind spots, creating a higher risk for accidents and unfortunately fatalities. These mirrors are constantly fogging up when the weather gets rainy. And as we all know, Portland is not called the Sunshine State. The next is steering. I think every driver in here would agree with me that you can immediately feel the difference of the play in the steering wheel of an old bus compared to the new. The steering wheel can be moved a quarter turn to either the right or the left, and the bus will still drive straight down the road. Obviously, this can make a simple turn, not to mention a hard turn, even more difficult. Onto the stairs, not so easy for some. Those 3 steps people have to walk up every day may be easy for you and I. However, for those who have disabilities using walkers, canes, or someone who has had a recent surgery using crutches, these 3 stairs can be daunting. Use the wheelchair lift. However, this may not be the first choice for some. Why? Most individuals do not see themselves as disabled. Pride sets in. An old man may force himself to climb up 3 steps only to prove to himself and others that he does not need additional service. For those of us who do request the wheelchair lift, they feel the resentment of the passengers and the driver because the older buses, it takes up extra time on an already tight schedule. Outdated buses have frequent problems with the lifts getting stuck. Unfortunately, unlike the 2000 series buses, with the exception of the 2100 series buses, when the lift gets stuck, you have to call for a mechanic. The second safety problem I see is schedules. Oh, the schedules, how they have almost become Trammit's 4-letter word. Schedules change every 3 months in hopes to make the system more effective for passengers and drivers. With the recent cutbacks on schedules for buses that even run frequently, going from every 15 to 20 minutes, that 5 minutes is a huge difference. With the economy down, it only forces more ridership. Cutbacks on schedules don't allow drivers to be as customer service friendly as we would like to be. This in turn makes passengers less sympathetic to drivers being late, and drivers less sympathetic to help passengers with additional information. Questions like, where do I catch? How long before the number 8 comes? Or how do I get to? This is especially frustrating with people who have disabilities and require extra help.
I just want to mention that Sandra yielded her time to you. So.
Oh, thank you. I really do appreciate that. Thank you so much.
We need to hear it, Rick.
The main problem I see with schedules is that it can force drivers to drive unsafely. When you are operating a bus on a tight schedule, or most commonly a schedule that is almost impossible to keep on time, safety sometimes unfortunately falls short. Mirror checks. In order to properly move your bus from a curve into a lane of traffic, you are supposed to do a certain amount of mirror checks. Unfortunately, as mentioned before, sometimes you just do not have the time. Bad schedules make drivers speed, whether that means faster than the speed limit or faster than one would like to feel comfortable driving, with a busload of people that has standing room only. The reality of a bad schedule is breaks are viewed as recovery time. If your break was 20 minutes and you pull into the bay 25 minutes late, not only did you miss your break, but now you're 5 minutes late coming out the bay. The decision to take a break when you are already late is a hard one. Most drivers rush to the bathroom, fill up their water bottle, and maybe swallow a few bites of food. To do this is even a hard decision. Take your break, they say. Take your break. Well, that's not always your first choice. Why? Because not only are you going to make it harder on the next driver, who's going to have confrontation with people, but it's just a domino effect. Everyone gets angry. The third problem until recently was our health benefits. Drivers have a huge amount of stress on them daily. We have traffic, we have reroutes, passengers, bicyclists, pedestrians. Stress, as we all know, can lower your immune system and make a healthy person sick. The chairs on our seats are also outdated and often broken. They can be uneven. and sometimes cause severe back pain to hip pain. I'd like to ask you, how old are the chairs that you are sitting on? Because I guarantee the chairs that I sit in for 8 to 12 hours are older. The new health plan is making drivers pay out of the pocket. So in turn, drivers are working more hours in order to afford them. Driving for more than 8 hours can be tiring, unhealthy, and sometimes even dangerous. It's also insulting to hear sometimes that our GM has announced that there's going to be cutbacks. And in the same sentence, he said that he's going to give himself a bonus or a raise or whatever he may have called it. It's a definite slap in the operator's face. The overall morale is down. It may have been more feasible for operators to understand the cutback if it was across the board. I would like to be your equal. I would also like to say once again, thank you for having me and my union sisters and brothers. Not everything about TriMet is negative. My job, I am proud of. Thank you.
Thanks to all those that. Thanks to all those that testified today. That ends our.
Well, Mr. Chairman, I have a statement.
All right, go ahead, Lynn.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, brothers, sisters on the board, we made some difficult decisions today, but positive to move forward. We're going to make some more in the very near future. We need everybody on board. We need the employees, we need management, we need this board in full support of everybody here so that they can go out and keep the public support. I've been involved with the collective bargaining issues for years and years and years. I know how it works, and it does work. What we heard today is a result of what years and years have brought together through the bargaining process. The bargaining process must stay in function. It takes two to do it. It takes you, ATU, you know that, and it takes TriMet management to get to the bargaining tables and get the issues settled. And you have a procedure, you have arbitration if you're not able to do it. But Mr. Chairman, what I've heard today is, I don't want injustice done. I don't want things put on people before the process is completed. And I will make a motion to rescind the actions of what TriMet.
All right.
And the reason I'm making this motion, Mr. Chairman, is to get the process back in action. Otherwise, they're at a stalemate. So I will make that motion, and I encourage my fellow board members to support that motion so that we get this done with and we move on in a very positive nature to get what we need to get done.
Right.
Thank you.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second it.
Have some courage.
With no,
Puppets, you can do it.
Have some courage.
with no second, the motion dies.
Come on, Steve.
We do have,
Come on, man.
another,
Really, we got to settle this issue on the parking lot in the areas. What I would implore all of you to do at this point in time is recess for a couple of minutes. Take the time to at least encourage the conversation between your board to actually mean something. Because when you immediately don't even do it, you just disrespect everybody. You disrespect the process and you recognize where we're at. At least break for a moment and confer with the group.
I overlooked one person that wanted to testify, and I'd like to, in deference to that person, give him a chance to testify. Then we may break or we may not, but I would like to call up Lou Church. Lou?